Z here, back to doing the video review. Going to be reviewing another Combiner War figure, this time a deluxe, for once. Yeah, I really have a bad habit of not reviewing any of the deluxe size figures, but I'm going to change it for this one, change that little problem for this one. I've got Deluxe Class Groove. Now I've had him for a little bit of a while. I did get him on the pre-order on BigBadToyStore.com. And I really do like this figure. I was a little bit on the fence on having him because obviously he's not to scale at all with the other deluxe combiners. Excuse me. But he is definitely an awesome figure. And come on, there we go. Trying to prevent a problem before it started. But yes, he's an awesome figure in my opinion. Especially for a motorcycle figure. I take his, he just has the chain gun, machine gun hand. Excuse me. Whew. Never drink soda before doing a review. He has the basic hand-foot gun, chain gun version like Blades has. But yeah. Now he does come with these two silver guns, which can be attached to him. I think these are supposed to be like the exhaust pipes on the motorcycle, because I don't see any other type of molded exhaust pipe on like areas like this. There doesn't seem to be anything like that. So I think these are supposed to be the exhaust pipes of the motorcycle mode. And that's why they attach down here like this. Now you could take one and attach it up here, but that does look a little ridiculous. But I really do like this, and I even do like the guns, because if you can look carefully, they've even taken the time to mold the inside of that red translucent plastic to look like it's the light and siren that would swirl on the inside, or the light that would swirl on the inside of one of one of those lights for motorcycles. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I really do like this. I am going to go over the limb modes just for this one occasion, because I haven't had a real big chance to talk about limb modes for since I haven't talked a lot about any of the deluxes for the most part. So, come on now. But he does work on the aerial bot's way of having his legs collapse down and having his arms collapse in a certain way. But that is his basic leg mode with the motorcycle limb, with the motorcycle's front end turned over like this. And it's not bad. To tell you the truth, it's okay as a leg, but I much prefer it in his arm mode. I think it works better for the figure, especially if you're putting like Blades up as an arm. I think it works better that way. So, put that there. Now, I'm going to talk about the one problem with this figure, and that's the back wheel. On the one hand, the back wheel is very wide. So when you're balancing him on a table, you don't absolutely need... Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, he has a kickstand, and it's right here, beneath the very obvious hand. He does have a back wheel, and you can stand him on a flat surface without the kickstand up, if you want to make it look like he's like riding on the street. The downside is the way they built this back wheel. It's very hard to get apart, and even harder to put back together properly. Even after transforming it so many times that I have, it's still a hinky process, in my opinion, to split this wheel and put it back together when necessary. But once you get that done, you can then put the hand-foot gun in its hand configuration, and you have an arm. Now, I think the only downside to this is that, like a lot of the Combiner War figures, the knee joints and hip joints were very loose when I got them, and need a little bit of tightening with some floor polish. But other than that, it's I think been been a great figure, and I think this makes a great arm for Defensor. Now, the robot mode, I think, is where he really shines. I think they did a fantastic job with the robot mode. Now, I think my only complaint I could have, besides an obvious backpack, but even the G1 figure had that, so I guess I can't complain that much, would be in his head. I don't know how well this is going to show up on camera. He's got a real grimace of a look. I mean, he's just scowling. And I'll be honest, I really don't like the way it looks. And I'm not sure if the Unite Warriors version had the same type of head, but I honestly kind of wish... I wouldn't want something like he's smirking or smiling, but maybe something that just didn't make him look like he's like a Cup level, like he's as old as Cup and as grumpy as Cup. Now, he can wield both blasters, obviously, in each hand, but another fun thing is they put a peg hole down on his right arm. And that is so you could attach the hand-foot gun on the bottom end of his arm while still holding both blasters. I really like that idea. That's a really cool idea. I wish more of the Combiner War figures did something like this to incorporate the hand-foot gun on the toy. That's really cool. And obviously there's a set of there's holes on the regular blasters, so you can combine them into a double blaster. Although something very interesting about these is that you can only attach the guns on the inside of the pegs, because when you try to put them on the inside of the guns where the other peg is at, when you try to push them in on this side, it's actually a couple of millimeters smaller than any of the pegs, so it won't fit properly. I always found that a little interesting. So I don't know why they did it, but they for some reason did it that way. But yeah, other than that, I think he's a fantastic figure. And yes, I picked him up on the Big Bad Toy Store pre-order for about $25, which is a bit much for a figure, but I think he was worth it. On the aftermarket, however, I've seen him as expensive as close to $50 on Amazon, and I think he's been going for almost $60 on eBay on certain auctions. If you can find him secondhand out of box, I wouldn't pay more than $25. If it's a pristine box, I wouldn't pay more than $40. And that's only because I think this figure was put into a limited run, so, but yeah. He is definitely an awesome figure, and if you want a Generation 1, a more G1 looking Defensor, I think he's definitely worth picking up. So until next time, this is Titan Zed saying I'll see ya when I see ya.